Welcome to the Open Tech Talks.tv. And today we have a special guest. And I'm going to love this episode. And I think not myself only, my kids are going to love. So two, one is 9, and another is 6. They're going to love it. And I just had a birthday party yesterday night. And that's why for me it's morning. For my elder son, he had a ninth birthday yesterday, and we celebrated in the night. So today I have two guests with me, Sam Keller, an IT veteran, and then Kaz Keller, who's a 12-year-old kid and AI genius with us, who's gonna share with us how's his journey and how he's training other kids with us. So let's hear from Sam and Kaz.
All right. Kaz, you want to tell the story of how all this arose for us?
I mean, it basically just started when I came up with the idea of me teaching people about ChatGPT right after I told my dad about this amazing new tool called ChatGPT that could do a bunch of stuff. Even though it wasn't up to date, it was so amazing. Whoa, this thing is crazy good. So eventually, a few months later, fast forward, after I tell my dad, it's I'm well, wait, Dad, what if I started teaching people about this? Up to the point I'd been doing lemonade stands, but then I'm this isn't really getting that much bank. Is there something else I can do that I would like doing more? And so then I just came up with the idea of teaching people about ChatGPT.
Wonderful. And Sam, what you do?
Well, I run a travel company now called Working Without Borders, but I also do this father and son project because after we had the idea, we put a message on this software platform Nextdoor that connects neighbors, and we were flooded with interest. So we used ChatGPT to help us figure out how to best offer these courses. It advised us to use a site called Eventbrite. So we created a few events just right here in our home, and they sold out right away with people paying $20 per ticket. And we couldn't keep up with demand here, so Kaz used some of his revenues to rent the boardroom at our local community center. So fast forward to where he has taught over 23 classes, both in person, via Zoom, with people all over North America, Europe. He's made over $4,000. He has taught businesses, B2B clients, how to use it for content generation. He's done consultancies with tech executives. He has consulted with boards of directors like the Soar Optimist International, and he's spoken at all these forums. And because he's gained so much confidence and credentials and income and skills, that's where we have teamed up to document everything about how we do this, the presentation, the script, all that. And now we've got young people and senior citizens all over the US and Europe following in his footsteps.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So Sam, let's go back to Kaz. So how did you get to know about ChatGPT? Who told you first?
I actually figured it out when I was watching a YouTube video on the car trip to Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe. So I was just watching this video about, can an AI code an entire game in less than 30 minutes? I'm wow, what AI could do this? So then in the video, I heard this word called ChatGPT. So I did some research and I found out about this tool called ChatGPT. And then 5 minutes later, still on the trip to Lake Tahoe, I'm wait a minute. What if we have it write a bedtime story and it could do that? And then I'm wait, that thing did code, so let me try that too. So it generated a lot of code, and then I just kept trying new things until I'm this thing has so many capabilities. So fast forward a few months, I'm back in Lake Tahoe, and then I'm doing my first practice session after I came up with the idea of doing it. So I'm doing a practice session with just family, and it's going amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful. So now, after doing practicing, did you thought of discussing with your friends in school or teachers? What was their reaction? Okay, ChatGPT is okay to use, or?
Well, most of them found out later when I was included in the big newspaper in our little town.
Oh, yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna go grab an actual copy of it, but basically in the
Mm-hmm.
newspaper, it was just mentioning how I was just teaching people all around, and then like suddenly the next Monday when I go to school, it's like everyone is like seeing about it, being like how like everyone's talking about it. Like my teachers are like, "Great job, Kaz."
Mm-hmm.
And this like it was over winter break, so I'm like, I sent one of my teachers email saying, "Wait, am I in the newspaper?" And then like on Monday, he's like, "Way to go, Kaz!" It felt amazing. Some of my
Okay.
classmates were like, "Whoa, how are you doing that? This is like, it shouldn't be that easy to make that much money." But
Mm-hmm.
like, and let alone a few months
Amazing. Amazing.
included this newspaper as well.
Mm-hmm.
More people kept finding out and then doing my classes.
Yeah.
So that's like eventually somewhere around that time, we just like thought of the idea, what if instead of just I teaching people, we like essentially just hit like a choice. We continue
Right.
doing like I'm just teaching, or it goes to where like my dad's teaching and I'm teaching other kids how to basically do what I do. So for example, we have like this kid named Brady who's in somewhere
Sacramento.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sacramento, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's teaching people already and he's starting to make money. So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
really cool how like I'm not the only one making money now. It's like there's something that everyone can do to make money.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing story. Right. So, how your this typical question comes from every parent, so who's gonna listen to you. So, how you're balancing your education with these type of activities?
Well, usually like I'll make sure like I do it on a date that's like easy and I still have plenty of time to like work on schoolwork, like homework and group projects. So
Mhm.
usually like we do it like on a Sunday in
Okay.
person. Every now and then we do like a 1 hour Zoom
Mm-hmm.
uh during the week.
Yeah.
So
And what I would add to that, Kashif, is this is essentially like any other extracurricular activity that kids do,
Right.
soccer, karate, and so forth. The key difference is that
instead of paying money to do it, you're earning money
yeah,
to do
Earning
it.
the money. Right. 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 True.
Like reverse money.
yeah. And Kashif, what I would really want your listeners to take away is this understanding of what's possible, because
Mm-hmm.
we and the other folks involved in this have now proven that what
Mm-hmm.
is possible is anyone from the age of 12 all the way through senior citizens, because we
Mm-hmm.
had senior citizens ask like, well, is this just for young people? And we thought, well, obviously 12-year-olds can do it, then senior citizens can do it. So just the notion that whether you're 12 or you're a senior citizen, you
Mm-hmm.
can quickly learn enough to really help people. Most of the people
Mm-hmm.
he taught are senior citizens, and they
Mm-hmm.
could easily be left behind by
Right.
this AI wave. So it's now possible to make money, hone
Mm-hmm.
your communication and your leadership skills, your
Right.
teaching skills, your and really be of service and have a
True.
lot of fun and get a lot of meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I think pretty much wherever you are in the globe, there's a need, there's a
True.
niche that folks could
True.
fill.
Okay. So now let's get back to in some more detail. So what you do when you say you provide training to other kids, so what actually it does?
Well, like I'll usually just like when I teach other kids how to do this, it just means that like they get access to the slide deck, they get access to like being able to contact us, they get access to
The script of what you say for each
like
slide.
they get access to a whole script on what I generally say. They even get access to like a whole like range of videos. Like it's like I think it's like more than 20 videos that they get to
Mm-hmm.
watch that
Mm-hmm.
explain every single step of the way that they need to do to be able to like do what I do and make money while
And
teaching
what
them.
do you do?
Well,
So you do.
basically
Mm-hmm.
says I'll have a slide deck and
Okay.
I'll just look at a slide and I'll just try and think of like in my brain 3 main points that I think are relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Okay.
on the screen. And then from there I just kind of elaborate on the points that are already shown up there. So if it's a slide about how ChatGPT works, I'll explain how like
Okay.
neural network that uses trillions of lines of large, making it a large language model, how it's
Mm-hmm.
basically using a complex data center to like just, I'll be a little more simple, but basically I'm explaining all that in a simple way to them. My
Okay.
the slides is not as a crutch, but instead I'd say as a stepping stone to help me just like say what I need to say.
Okay. And so one part you train them what is ChatGPT, right? And then how you train them that okay, what they can get out of ChatGPT. So do you guide them?
Like I'll train them, what can you get out of ChatGPT? How can you like use ChatGPT to do everyday things? And then like
Mhm.
sometimes I'll even help them out with like how can you like tune a question for ChatGPT? I don't really go in depth on
Okay.
that. That's like just one of the things I mentioned. Then near the end I'll mention ChatGPT plugins, ChatGPT code
Mhm.
interpreter, ChatGPT browsing, and then so I'll just mention a few of those things as well.
And then you also talk to them about its limitations and the downsides and sort of risks of it.
Yeah, that's also one of the main things. And I also talk about inside the caveats and also the advantages, like what are the main abilities of ChatGPT,
Okay.
other than the
And
fact it can write stuff.
all right. Now maybe if you can share because this is very important for kids. It could be 9, 10, 11, 12 or more go on. Did you face any fear of going in front of people, explaining them, or a fear of public speaking, or fear of what I'm gonna start? How you overcome them, or how you encourage yourself so that they can also encourage.
The first time I did it, I had a small fear, but then I'm like, this is $100 I'm gonna make.
Ah, that's
Like,
wonderful. Okay.
like if I keep doing this, I'm gonna have a crate of
Mhm.
this. Like, what's there to be afraid of?
Yeah.
And then
Ah,
eventually, like, I just asked myself, like, really, what is there to be afraid of? Like, big deal if I mess up. I'm a kid, they'll understand it. It's like I don't even really think about it at this point because it's just like talking, like big deal if I mess up, like I can just like say I'm sorry. Like worst case, I can just reinforce them. Like it's like I'm just like I really just think there's not a big deal if I mess up. That's probably one of the things that I think really helps you overcome that fear if you just think, okay, no big deal if I mess up.
that's great. So if this question we will convert into what message you will pass to your age fellow, what they need to do to overcome this.
Well, usually when people who sign up already kind of have overcome it, in my opinion, but usually if any of them do have a little bit of a fear, I'd say, what's there to be? I just kind of like tell them the same thing as I told you, like just tell them, think to yourself every time you do it, what is there to be afraid of? Like the only thing that's going to come out of this is money. So what's there to be afraid of? And then I also tell them like, also, really, what is there to be afraid of? Like, big deal if you mess up, big deal if you stutter, big deal if you
Mm,
forget. Say you have a script, you look at the slides. Worst case, you can just use a crutch on one of those
right.
as the slides.
Yeah. What I would add to that is that in Kaz's experience and how we train the others is to take this incremental approach where first all you're doing is taking what you've learned and you're
Right.
teaching, say, your grandma, just
Mhm.
or your mom, or just somebody whom you feel totally comfortable with. Then you're going to do maybe neighbors, and you're going to work your way up to
So,
paid customers, strangers in a
right.
community.
Right.
It's just that incremental approach. And then we also provide training on the mindset on how are you going to get yourself in a good, healthy mindset. There's a lot that goes into that, but part of it is keeping your focus on just trying to help, just trying to be of
Right.
service. So you're not worried about so much yourself and how do I
Right.
look, I sound, but just how can I help these folks? And I think
True.
Kaz and the others have quickly realized that a lot of the folks who come, mostly senior citizens, you quickly realize that in some ways for this technology, you do know more than them and you really can help them. So
Right.
you just help them.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So what percentage of audiences you're getting? I mean, the adult one or the kids? How most
Usually,
most? Hmm.
say I'm getting like seniors is my main
Okay.
customer. But usually, adults have too much work going on, and kids usually just go to YouTube or TikTok to learn that stuff. So it's really like that's our sweet spot because like a kid, he has more than enough time to just watch a YouTube video. An adult
Hmm.
doesn't barely has enough time, but sometimes they'll come. But like our main audience is going to be a senior because the senior plenty of time on their hands and really does not want to get left behind on a wave like this because usually they'll have gotten left behind like on the iPhone or on internet or
Oh,
some one of those things, and they're just like, I'm not going to miss out on this.
Yeah, and
all right.
a key aspect of the training that he and now
Hmm.
these others provide, whether it's in person or via Zoom, is hands-on. So
Right.
that's part of why these folks come, is that he's going to really show them on their devices how to
Hmm.
get access, how to
Hmm.
start using it, how to start getting
Hmm.
value from it.
Hmm.
So it's
Okay.
the folks
Okay.
that want that kind of hands-on support.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right. And maybe another question. So, how they are using it? What benefit? Maybe you're hearing stories. If you can relate to it, that okay, people are
Yes.
using it and they're sharing with you.
Usually the seniors that I've taught usually end up using it to like write poems to their friends or like help them write an email to someone they know. And
Okay.
that's what in stores like. And then like I've used it to make recipes. Like I made these like really I made this really cool double
Hmm.
cake that ChatGPT taught me how to make. I also made this really nice cookie
Hmm.
recipe. So it's just like there's just some of the things that I would make with it.
Hmm.
But I've heard your customers also using it for social media posts,
Yeah.
blogs, like marketing copy.
Yeah, but that's more like younger people. Seniors, it's just like a nice way to write a poem for them.
All right.
Or a complaint letter to an airline or something like that.
All right. So okay. So now, first you started in your community, and then now you started a remote, like in a Zoom. Is it recorded sessions or is it Zoom live sessions? How you doing it?
Usually my favorite to do is an in-person session because when it's in
Mm-hmm.
person, it's just like you really get to just talk to them and like interact with the people there. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
when it's like it feels a little more distant to me.
Yeah.
Right.
But the 23 classes he's taught have been
Mm-hmm.
in person and live via Zoom.
Okay. Okay.
Where
Okay.
he capped it at 12 people so that it could be kind of intimate. Everyone can get their
Mm-hmm.
questions answered.
Mm-hmm.
And now, only now that it's so dialed in, are we
Mm-hmm.
thinking of recording it and
Mm-hmm.
making it available as a recorded session in an evergreen fashion.
Mm-hmm. All right. So apart from getting paid money, so what did you got? If you can tell us something personally in your class, in in your study, how is it helping you?
Well, teaching about ChatGPT, like, and honestly, it's like it's kind of like helped us like overcome my fear of like speaking because in the beginning I was a little like
Mhm.
speaking to people for money. Whoa. But now I'm like, okay, big
Mhm.
deal. Who cares? Like it's happened before. Big
Mhm.
deal. So like that's really helped out. Also, it's just kind of cool, just getting to like know people, and they're like, they just have like this people who like know me, like such nice teachers. They just kind of like
Mhm.
understand me more, like that I actually like can grasp things, even if like I can't pay attention sometimes. It's like they still
Okay.
know I'm smart, and like stuff like that. But mainly the main benefit is just getting to connect with my dad and overcoming my fear of
Mhm.
speaking.
Mhm. All right. So Sam, maybe come back to you as a parent. What motivated you to let him do this one? Maybe he has got an idea. But what motivated you that, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the path I think I should, like you said, extracurricular activity.
Yeah. Well, and I think your listeners who are parents will hopefully relate to this. I was feeling that my son was, a good student and good at various extracurricular activities.
Right.
Still, to get into top high schools or universities, it's so competitive and it's so hard to really stand out or be differentiated. So I thought this could be an avenue that could really help him in that regard. And that very much has been the case. We've gotten all these signals now that he'd be a great candidate at different high schools and all this stuff. But it was that desire to have the peace of mind as a parent that my kid is on a good path.
Okay. So if someone, I mean, other parents wanna go such journeys, what is your advice to them?
My advice to them is that at least in our part of the world and these other spots where these other students are doing this, it really seems like there's a widespread opportunity now that ChatGPT and other AI tools are becoming available and becoming adopted. There's a widespread opportunity, I would say a global opportunity, for young people to go beyond learning about entrepreneurship through like a lemonade stand, which is very common thing here in the US, to go beyond stuff like teaching ChatGPT is like the modern day lemonade stand. And it is now possible really within 30 days to learn enough about the technology to start helping people. And whether it's initially for donations, so some of the students have started they just get donations, or whether you're actually selling tickets, there's a fantastic entrepreneurial opportunity in many different places, and it's feasible to pursue. And then I would think that particularly if it's young people doing it, the local media and stuff is going to regard them as a prodigy. That's kind of the label that's going to be put on it. Oh, they must be a prodigy. And there's just a lot of benefits that come from doing this: the skills, the confidence, the income, and then whether it gets you a scholarship or gets you admitted to some university. It's
Right. And what do you think, Kaz? What kids will get it out of it?
I think honestly, kids can just get a lot out of this. Like if people take this course and actually start making money, it's just a really powerful way to boost your confidence. And it like if you do it a lot like I have, it's definitely gonna like it'll make you like more known around your community, and it might even increase your odds of getting into a good college or getting into a good high school, because it's like just when you do this, you're helping out your community, and it's just a really fun and nice thing to do.
All right.
Yep. I would just quickly add to that it basically enables young folks to have the confidence that, hey, if they want to get a certain kind of job, especially with tech or artificial intelligence or teaching or whatever, they're going to be able to do so, which is meaningful as the job markets get disrupted, but also this confidence that, hey, I could create jobs.
True. And that's wonderful. More way of thinking, anyone actually are doing it, right?
Yeah.
So Kaz, maybe in a concluding remark, what do you think? What you want to leave a last, message to kids who are listening to this one? What, or parents even maybe, what they should be doing it, or how they should support their kids if they're parents.
I would like to just say that like what I'm doing is just like really meaningful to me, and like the project program is just like an excellent way, I think, to just like learn how to just, if you're a parent, like just learn how to get your kid, learn you and your kid how to like teach people about this new up and coming AI while making money out of it. And for kids, it's just like a fun way to make money, especially if you're young, because it just like changes the way you think about money.
True.
Instead of just getting an allowance, like that was easy. I washed the dishes, I made $10. Now it's like I spent an hour teaching people about AI. Same amount of time it would have taken me to like clean dishes 3 times.
True.
And I made wait, let me think. 20 times the amount of.
Well, yeah, that's true. All right. So maybe okay. Yeah. So where if audiences want to reach you out, so if you want to share some links of your website or your social media channels, or how someone want to reach out to you?
If someone would like to just go to our site, sign up for one of our classes, or sign up for the
Mhm.
project program, they can go to
Mhm.
genaiacademy.ai, no hyphens, no spaces, just .ai. And then yeah, just feel free to go there.
And then I would also say that for folks who are wanting to just sort of stay abreast of these evolving AI tools and tech
Mhm.
products, and to get a glimpse in terms of what this younger generation thinks about them, Kaz has a YouTube channel.
Yeah. It's youtube.com / Kaz Explains Tech, no hyphens, just Kaz Explains Tech. And that's where I post videos about new up and coming technologies, and also how I'm using them and how you guys can use them to do stuff with it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Great. Kaz Explains Tech. Excellent. Thank you so much, and lovely to have you as a guest. And really, you inspired me to let my kid, he's 9 years, so he's gonna get into it slowly. Thank you so much for joining the show. Thank you.
Thanks for having us on, Kashif.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.